Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, guys. I want you to imagine the scene. The Atlanta Falcons, coming off a very promising 2024 campaign with their sights set higher than ever. They've been building this roster, making smart moves, and most importantly, they've been eyeing that elusive playoff success. But what if I told you that a move, a strategic, calculated move, could potentially redefine their offensive core and give them that extra push they need to contend seriously in 2025? And that move, believe it or not, could involve a name that's been making waves recently, Christian Kirk. I know, the news just broke that Kirk was traded to the Houston Texans, but hear me out, this is all about speculation, about why a pairing between Kirk and the Falcons could be a game changer, a move that makes perfect sense if the circumstances align. What's interesting is that the Texans, who are in rebuilding mode, made a pretty surprising move by acquiring Kirk before the NFL draft. They managed to do this for just a 7th-round pick, which honestly is a steal in today's NFL. It's clear they saw some value in Kirk, but now that the draft has played out, the question is, what's next for him? The Texans already have a solid group of wide receivers, including Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, and Jalen Noel, all of whom played significant roles last season. Plus, they've got John Mechie and Tank Dell, both of whom are developing into reliable targets. So, with such depth, it's no wonder that Kirk's role in Houston is becoming less critical. That's where the Falcons come into the picture. Now, for those of you who watch the draft closely, you know that the Falcons traded up to select James Pierce Jr., a move that showed their commitment to strengthening the defense. But it also meant they had fewer draft picks in the later rounds, which impacted their ability to address some needs, especially at wide receiver. And let's be honest, after Drake London and Darnell Mooney, the depth chart gets a little shaky. Ray McLeod, for example, has shown flashes, but he's not exactly a proven, consistent performer. His career-best yardage in 2024 was just over 300 yards, and considering he broke out at age 28, it's clear that relying on him as a reliable slot is a bit of a gamble. Here's where Christian Kirk fits perfectly. Historically, Kirk has been a slot receiver, and his production confirms that. In 2024, he ran an impressive 81.7% of his routes from the slot, and in 2023, that number was still a solid 71.3%, according to PFF. That's exactly what the Falcons need, a proven slot weapon who can immediately slot into their offense and provide a reliable target for Michael Penix Jr., the young quarterback they've invested heavily in. Penix, who was drafted 8th overall in 2024, has shown flashes of brilliance, but he needs weapons, and Kirk could be that consistent, dependable option that takes some pressure off London and Mooney. And let's not forget the backstory here. Kirk missed most of the 2024 season, but when he was healthy in 2023, he had a solid 787 receiving yards in just 12 games. Sure, he's not a 1-0-yard receiver every year, but his last full healthy campaign in 2022 saw him rack up over 100 yards, a testament to his talent and potential. If he can return to that form, playing alongside Penix with the Falcons' offensive scheme, he could easily be an 800-900-yard receiver, and that would be a huge boost to this offense. Now guys, think about the bigger picture. The Falcons have been building towards a playoff push, and they already have a solid core. But adding a player like Kirk could elevate that core to another level. He would be that third wide receiver, that reliable slot target who can stretch the field and create mismatches. His familiarity in the slot, combined with Penix's arm talent and the Falcons' developing offensive line, could turn Atlanta into one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFC. And let's be honest, with the NFC South being so competitive, every little upgrade counts. A move like this could be the difference between a wild-card spot and a deep playoff run. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the possibility of trading for Christian Kirk? Do you believe he's the missing piece to elevate this team? Would you be okay giving up a seventh-round pick for a proven, talented wide receiver who could make an immediate impact? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons' future. Remember, this is all about strategy, about vision, about understanding how each piece can fit into the puzzle that is the Falcons' 2025 season. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead, the Falcons have some interesting options this offseason. They could very well make a move, and the potential acquisition of Christian Kirk fits perfectly into their plan to compete now and build for the future. The team's management has shown they're not afraid to pull the trigger on smart trades, and bringing in a player of Kirk's caliber, especially at such a low cost, makes all the sense in the world. It's about maximizing their roster, filling the gaps, and giving Penix Jr. the best possible chance to succeed right out of the gate. And considering the Falcons' recent draft strategy and roster development, they've been meticulous about adding talent and creating a balanced team. They've already invested in the defense with James Pierce Jr. And now, adding a proven offensive weapon like Kirk could be the final piece to unlock their full potential. Imagine the possibilities. With London stretching defenses on one side, Mooney working the outside, and Kirk operating as that reliable slot, defenses would be in a bind. Penix Jr., with his mobility and arm strength, could flourish with such weapons, making play-action passes and quick throws that keep defenses guessing. Furthermore, it's worth noting that the Falcons have the cap space and flexibility to make this kind of move if they choose. They're in a position to be aggressive, especially if it means securing a player who can immediately contribute. The trade would likely involve a seventh-round pick, which is a small price to pay for a player with Kirk's upside and familiarity with the slot role. If the Falcons can swing this deal, it could be a statement to the rest of the league that they're serious about competing at the highest level in 2025. So, as we sit here, analyzing every angle, it's clear that a Christian Kirk move isn't just wishful thinking. It's a strategic opportunity that makes sense for the Falcons. It aligns with their current roster needs, their draft strategy, and their desire to maximize their offensive output. It's about creating mismatches, about providing Penix Jr. with all the tools he needs to succeed, and about giving this Falcons team the offensive firepower to fight for a division title, a playoff spot, and maybe, just maybe, a deep run in the postseason. I want you all to keep a close eye on how this offseason unfolds. The Falcons are always looking for smart moves, and this one, if it happens, could be one of the most impactful of them all. Remember, the NFL is all about opportunities and timing, and right now, the Falcons have a chance to strike a deal that could define their season. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Would you love to see Christian Kirk in the red and black? Do you think he's the missing piece to finally unlock that offensive explosion we've all been waiting for? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your predictions, and let's keep this conversation going. Your opinions are what drive this community, and we're all in this together, rooting for the Falcons to succeed in 2025 and beyond. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and insights. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Falcons!